to Roadies Roam the World. We're Kit and Rebecca, and we're in Florida in October of 2023, where we visit the Canaveral National Seashore and Kennedy Space Center. Join us for some fun in the Florida sun. Today, we're at the Apollo Visitor Center of the Canaveral National Seashore, where Kit is getting his national park passport stamped, and we visit Mosquito Lagoon before checking out the rest of the park. The Canaveral National Seashore is the longest stretch of undeveloped Atlantic coastline in Florida. It's part of a barrier island, which is composed of dune, hammock, and lagoon habitat. You might be asking, what is a hammock habitat? It's a term used in the southern U.S. for stands of trees that form an ecological island in a contrasting ecosystem. Hammocks occur in marshes, pinelands, mangrove swamps, and the interiors of some wetland tree islands. Hammocks develop at elevations high enough to prevent seasonal flooding. The dense shade created by a mature hammock regulates the temperature inside, keeping them several degrees cooler during the summer months and sheltering the hammock interior from winter winds. While standing on the seashore, we observe these little fish jumping out of the water, and we wonder if they were being chased. But what I learned later is these are mullet, and they seem to jump for joy or sport. There are several theories about why mullet demonstrate this behavior. One is that they are jumping to shake off clinging parasites. In Florida, it's possible the fish are jumping during the spawning season to break open their egg sacs in preparation for the spawn. Another theory is that they are jumping to let the other fish in the school know where they are. Whatever the reason, it was really cool to watch. We watched the waves crash into the shore and the shorebirds for a little longer before heading to the other side of the island to see the Eldora Village. Enjoying this video? Like and subscribe so you can get notified when we post new content. As we head to Eldora, let's learn a little about its history. Eldora was named after two sisters who lived in the area, Ellen and Dora Pitzer. They ultimately became successful because of the location and proximity of their estate to the waterway. Eldora was on the water route that many people would take from Central Florida to South Florida. This was important for the town because at this time, roadways and trains did not exist. For many years, the 200 or so residents of Eldora were given the opportunity to work in the nearby orange groves to earn money for their families. This was the chief export of the area, even though the community was right on the shore of Mosquito Lagoon, which was a haven for all types of fishing. Upon arriving at the property, we immediately saw a dolphin swimming right off the dock, and while we didn't get to see much of the dolphin, we did get to see a manatee. As this guy dove to munch on vegetation at the bottom of the lagoon, we could see his tail come up out of the water. There are 3 species of manatee, and the West Indian live in Florida. Manatees are herbivores and eat over 60 different fresh and saltwater plants. Manatees inhabit the shallow, marshy, coastal areas and rivers of the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, the Amazon Basin, and West Africa. They are fully aquatic, and sometimes they're called sea cows. Manatees weigh 880 to 1,210 pounds and average 9 feet in length. Apart from mothers with their young or males following a receptive female, manatees are generally solitary animals. This trail will take you back to the parking area, but we didn't know that at the time, so we only went down a little ways and then we turned around. After exploring the Eldora Estate grounds, we head over to Turtle Mound, which is a prehistoric archaeological site. The turtle-shaped mound contains oysters and refuse from the prehistoric Timucuan people. Archaeologists believe that the Timucuan may have used the site as a high ground refuge during hurricanes. Recent radiocarbon dating has dated the mound to around 1000 BCE. Turtle Mound was estimated to be 75 feet high before it was reduced by shell rock mining in the 19th and 20th centuries to approximately 50 feet. The mound extends 600 feet and contains over 35,000 cubic yards of shells. The view from the top of the mound is simply breathtaking. The next day, Kit went back to the Canaveral National Seashore, just south of where we were the day before, to do a little more exploring before he heads over to Kennedy Space Center. National Wildlife Refuge, which is a 140,000-acre U.S. wildlife refuge on the Atlantic coast. Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge is located east of Titusville, Florida. To the north, it borders on the Canaveral National Seashore. To the south, it encompasses non-public portions of Kennedy Space Center, which in turn includes Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Mosquito Lagoon and the Indian River run through the refuge. Kit takes us to Playalinda Beach, where the wind is much stronger, and in turn, the waves are much bigger than the day before. Subject to the needs of NASA, public access is relatively unrestricted on Merritt Island, though it is only allowed during the daylight hours. As Kit journeys south, he's excited to give us a sneak peek of a launch pad. Join us next week on Roadies Roam the World to watch Kit turn into an astronaut while he explores Kennedy Space Center.